What's up, YouTube? This is DemonSlate123 bringing you General Manager Mode for Smackdown vs. Raw 2008 Season 2 for Smackdown. Let's go ahead and get started with the month of July. And starting off with Raw. It averaged in at 3.5 stars. They didn't have a match 1. Match 2 was the Tables, Ladder, and Chairs Fatal 4-Way between Tashira, Regal, Robert, and Diesel. And Tashira won, and it was 1 star. Next was a 6-man normal tag match with Stone Cold, Ashton, and Rick Rude. Lost to Chavo, Finley, and MVP. That was 3 stars. Next is Steel Cage Triple Threat where Mark Henry beat Rey Mysterio and Elijah Burke. That was 3 stars. And the main event was a Hardcore Triple Threat Tornado Tag match where Carlito and Batista beat Shawn Michaels and the Great Khali and Shad and Matt Hardy, and that was 3.5 stars. Next we're moving to ECW. And their show rating was 4 stars and had match 1. Match 2 was a submission match for CM Punk, lost to Gabriel. That was 2 stars. Next is a hardcore single match for Sabu, beat Gregory Helms. That was 3 stars. Next was a singles no manager versus with manager. Roddy Piper lost to The Undertaker and Bobby Lashley. That was 3.5 stars. And the main event was the ECW Championship match where The Rock lost the title to Mr. Kennedy, and that was 3.5 stars. Moving to SmackDown. And the show rating was 4.5 stars. The first match was a parking lot brawl where Triple H beat Ric Flair. That was 5 stars. Next is a singles match where Randy Orton beat Mick Foley. That was 4 stars. Next is a singles match where Terry Funk lost to Johnny Nitro, 4.5 stars. Next is the WWE Tag Team Championship Ladder Tornado Tag match where Sandman and Kane lost the titles to Umaga and King Booker, and that was 5 stars. And the main event was a singles match where Bret Hart beat John Cena, and that was 4.5 stars. So we go into the next week for July, and Raw was on the 8th, and it was 3.5 stars for the show rating. Match 1 didn't have one. Match 2 was a handicap, 1-on-3 where Tashira beat Alex, Robert, and Diesel. That was half a star. Next was a handicap tag-on trio where Mysterio and Mark Henry lost against Elijah Burke, MVP, and William Regal. That was 2.5 stars. Next is an elimination tag match where Stone Cold, Matt Hardy, and Ashley beat Chavo, Finley, and Rick Rude. That was 3 stars. And the main event was a tag team tag match with manager where Shawn Michaels and Shad lost to Carlito, the Great Khali, and Batista, and that was 3 stars. Going to ECW, the show rating was 4 stars. The first match was a steel cage match where Thomas beat Test. That was half a star. Next was a 6-man normal tag match where Jeff Hardy, Marcus Corvon, and Kenny Dykstra beat Gregory Helms, Snitsky, and Matt Morgan. That was 2 stars. Next was a triple threat match where Mr. Kennedy beat Gabriel Smith and CM Punk, and that was 2.5 stars. Next was a handicap 1-on trio where The Rock lost to Undertaker, JTG, and Sabu. That was 3.5 stars. And the main event was a parking lot brawl where Roddy Piper lost to Bobby Lashley, and that was 4 stars. Moving to SmackDown, The show rating was 4.5 stars. The first match was a hardcore single manager with manager where Kane and Sandman lost to King Booker and Umaga. That was 4.5 stars. Next was a singles match where Randy Orton lost to Mick Foley, 4 stars. Next was a singles match where Johnny Nitro lost to Terry Funk, 4.5 stars. Next was a singles match where Bret Hart beat John Cena again, 4.5 stars. And the main event was 5 stars, and it was a United States Championship hardcore match where Ric Flair beat Triple H. So moving to the next week for Raw, and their show rating was 4 stars. The first match was a hardcore triple threat where Matt Hardy beat Diesel and Robert, 1 star. Next is an elimination time match where Tashira, Ashley, and Regal beat MVP, Mark Henry, and Alex. That was 1.5 stars. Next is an elimination tag match where Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, and Batista lost to Chavo, Finley, and Rick Rude, 3 stars. Next is a hardcore single match where Rey Mysterio lost to Elijah Burke and the Great Khali, 3 stars. The main event was an Intercontinental Championship TLC match where Shad lost to Carlito, and it was 3.5 stars. Alright, moving on to ECW, the 16th. Didn't have match 1. The show rating for the night was 3.5 stars. First match was an elimination tag match where Abyss, Kashi, and Test beat Snitsky, Kenny, and Matt Morgan. That was half a star. Next was a Tables Fatal 4-Way where CM Punk beat Marcus Corvon, Jeff Hardy, and Gabriel Smith, and that was 2 stars. Next was a handicap 1-on trio where The Rock lost to Undertaker, Sabu, and Gregory Helms. That was 3.5 stars. And the main event was an elimination tag match where Roddy Piper and JTG beat Mr. Kennedy and Bobby Lashley, and that was 3.5 stars. Moving on to SmackDown for the night. The first match was a singles match, and the show rating overall was 4.5 stars again. Put my camera back. Next was a singles match where Triple H lost to Ric Flair, 4 stars. They move in to another singles match where Johnny Nitro beat Terry Funk. That was 4.5 stars. Next was a tag team match where Umaga and King Booker beat Kane and Sandman, and that was 4 stars. The main event was a singles match where John Cena and Bret Hart came to a draw, and it was 4.5 stars. And then we move into the Great American Bash pay-per-view for SmackDown, which is my brand. And the show rating got 5 stars. The The first match was the WWE Tag Team Championship Hell in a Cell Tornado Tag match where Kane and Sandman lost, and Umaga and King Booker retained the titles. That was 5 stars. Next was a First Blood match where Randy Orton beat Mick Foley. That was 5 stars. Next was the United States Championship Hell in a Cell match where Triple H beat Ric Flair. That was 5 stars. Next was the Cruiserweight Championship First Blood match, and Terry Funk beat Johnny Nitro. That was 5 stars. And the main event was the World Heavyweight Championship First Blood match where Bret Hart lost to John Cena, and that was 5 stars. So yeah, I called this pay-per-view actually Blood in a Cell. I don't know. Give me some suggestions. It's all First Blood and Hell in a Cell matches. But anyway, moving on. Next for Raw, the night show rating was 4 stars. First match was Tables, Ladders, and Chairs match where William Regal lost to Alex. That was 1 star. Next was the Elimination Tag match where Ashley Teixeira and Thomas beat MVP, Mark Henry, and Robert. That was 1.5 stars. Next was a tag team match where Rey Mysterio and Matt Hardy beat Elijah Burke and Great Khali. That was 3 stars. Next is 6-man normal tag where Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, and Batista lost to Finlay, Rick Rude, and Shad. That was 3 stars. And the main event was the WWE Championship TLC match where Chavo beat Carlito, and that was 4 stars. Move on to ECW. The show rating was 4 stars. The first match was a Ultimate Submission match where Abyss beat Matt Morgan, 0 stars. Next is a Hardcore Single match where CM Punk beat Gabriel, 2 stars. Next is a Table Tornado Tag match where Gregory Helms and Snitsky lost to Marcus Corvon and Kenny Dykstra. That was 2 stars. Next is a Handicap 1-on Trio where The Rock beat The Undertaker, JTG, and Sabu. That was 3.5 stars. And the main event was a Triple Threat match where Roddy Piper lost to Mr. Kennedy and Bobby Lashley. That was 3.5 stars. Moving on to SmackDown for the week. The show rating was 4 stars. First match was a tag team match where Mick Foley and Sandman beat Umaga and King Booker. That was 4 stars. Next was a Cruiserweight Championship submission match where Terry Funk retained against Johnny Nitro. That was 4 stars. Or he won, I can't remember. Next was a submission match where Triple H lost to Bret Hart, 4.5 stars. Next was another submission match where Kane lost to Randy Orton, and that was 4 stars. And the main event was a submission singles match where John Cena lost to Ric Flair, and that was 4.5 stars. So submission week for SmackDown. Next, the last 2 days of July, Raw averaged in a 4-star rating. First match was a Handicap 1-on tag where Ashley lost to Mark Henry and Robert, 1.5 stars. Next is Steel Cage Triple Threat where Alex beat Batista and Great Khali, 2.5 stars. Next is a Parking Lot Brawl where Shad beat MVP. Next was an Elimination Tag Normal Tag match for Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, and Rey Mysterio lost to Chavo Guerrero, Finlay, and Rick Rude. That was 3.5 stars. And the main event was the Intercontinental Championship Steel Cage match where Carlito beat Elijah Burke, and that was 3.5 stars. And the last one I'm going to do for this week's is ECW, and the show rating was 4 stars. First match was a Hardcore Single match versus a no manager with manager where Abyss beat Test and Matt Morgan, 0.5 star. Next is a Handicap 1-on Trio where Kashi lost to Marcus Corvon, Snitsky, and Kenny Dykstra, 1.5 star. Next is a Tables Fatal 4-Way where Sabu beat Gabriel, CM Punk, and Gregory Helms, 2 stars. Next is a Hardcore Tornado Tag match where The Rock and JTG lost to The Undertaker and Mr. Kennedy, 4 stars. And the main event was a Parking Lot Raw where Roddy Piper lost to Bobby Lashley, and that was 4 stars. So that's it for the month of July's SmackDown vs. Raw General Manager mode for SmackDown. I will see you guys later. Peace.